As you start listening now, just noticing the rhythm of your breathing, you might begin to wonder, isn't it fascinating how every person you've ever met has something unique, something extraordinary, that only they can bring into the world? Isn't it curious how often we get caught up in solving problems, fixing flaws, and analysing weakness, that we forget to truly see how special someone really is? Because every person, including you, carries within them a spark, a gift, a treasure, waiting to be noticed, nurtured and appreciated. And isn't it interesting how, when you begin to shift your focus, you might discover every so-called problem hides a deeper strength, hidden ability, or a story that's worth celebrating. So just imagine for a moment, what would it be like to look at someone, not through the lens of what's missing, but through the lens of what's present, what's vibrant, what's alive within them. And imagine finding yourself drawn, irresistibly drawn, to their strengths, their brilliance, their potential. Because the truth is, when you look for gifts, you find them. When you search for wonder, it appears. When you notice what's special, it grows. And perhaps you're already beginning to feel a sense of curiosity, a sense of intrigue, as if the world around you is full of untold stories, remarkable talents, and fascinating possibilities just waiting to be uncovered. You see, some people live their lives focused on flaws, what's wrong, what's broken. But what if, just what if, you decide to step into a new way of seeing, a way of seeing that notices beauty where others see imperfection, that discovers the values in the things that most people overlook, that senses greatness in even the smallest, quietest gestures. Because you already know, don't you, that the mind has an incredible ability to shift, to focus, to see things differently. And as you open your awareness to this idea, to this belief, it's as if your entire perspective begins to change effortlessly, naturally. And with that shift, something else begins to happen, doesn't it? You start to realize, when you notice the gifts of others, you reflect those gifts back to them. You create space for them to grow, to shine, to become more of who they truly are. Because isn't it true? People respond to how they're seen. And when you see someone as gifted, special and capable, it's like you're planting a seed in their mind, a seed of belief, of confidence, of self-worth. And so, in this moment, right now, you might find yourself beginning to adopt a new belief, a new way of being. It's the belief that everyone, every single person you meet, has something remarkable inside them. It's the belief that your role, your gift, your power, is to bring that out, to discover it, to nurture it. Because as you do this, something beautiful happens, doesn't it? You begin to see yourself differently too. And after all, everyone else has gifts. Doesn't that mean you do as well? If everyone else is special, unique and extraordinary, doesn't that mean you are too? And the more you look for gifts in others, the more you awaken those same gifts within yourself. The more you notice what's beautiful, intriguing and wonderful in them, the more you realize just how much beauty, intrigue and wonder is inside of you. So as you continue on this path, as you notice yourself naturally drawn to the strengths and the gifts of others, you might find this becomes a new habit, a new pattern of thinking, feeling and being. And with every person that you meet, you'll find yourself asking not what's wrong, but what's right. Not what's missing, but what's present. Because isn't it true? When you ask better questions, you get better answers. When you look for light, you find it. When you look for brilliance, it shines. And maybe, just maybe, this way of seeing will lead you to notice something you've never seen before. Maybe you'll discover that the world and the people in it are far more wonderful, special and fascinating than you ever imagined. And all it takes is a shift in focus, a shift in belief, a shift in you. And as you continue to listen to these words, perhaps you can already feel the gentle unfolding of awareness. As if a part of you has always known that within every person lies something extraordinary. Not just their actions, not just their achievements, but something deeper, something rarer, something that's uniquely theirs. Because isn't it true that no two people see the world in the same way? And because of that, every single person you meet holds a perspective, a way of thinking, feeling and being that no one else has. And when you think about that for just a moment, doesn't it seem astonishing? And yet, for so long, people have been taught to focus on what's broken, to notice the flaws, the gaps, the problems. But what if every problem was simply a doorway to a strength, a skill, a capacity waiting to emerge? It's as if life is offering you a choice right now, isn't it? You could look at someone and notice their limitations, or you could look and really look and notice their potential, notice the seeds of greatness within them, the parts of themselves they may not even realize that they have yet. Because people, they're always so much more than they appear to be on the surface. And sometimes you might even notice the very things that people see as weakness, they're actually the roots of their greatest gifts. Like the person who feels too sensitive, and yet that sensitivity allows them to deeply connect with others. Or the one who worries too much, and yet that carefulness allows them to plan, to protect, to anticipate challenges before they arise. Isn't it fascinating how every strength can appear as a flaw, when you're only looking for one angle? But as you begin to shift your perspective, as you begin to notice the hidden gifts in every person that you meet, you might realize this shift, it isn't just about them. Because here's the thing, the way you see others is the way you begin to see yourself. The more you train your mind to notice brilliance in others, the more you start to notice it in yourself. The more you focus on what's right, what's valuable, what's extraordinary, the more your own sense of worth begins to grow. And isn't that something worth thinking about? Because right now, you're becoming the kind of person who can uncover treasures where others see only sand. The kind of person who can inspire greatness in others simply by noticing it, acknowledging it, and reflecting it back to them. And isn't it true, when you do this, when you truly see someone, something magical begins to happen. You see people live up to or down to the way they're seen. When someone is treated as if they're ordinary, they shrink, they hesitate, they hold back. When someone is treated as if they're extraordinary, as if they're capable of more than they ever believed, they begin to rise. And as you think about this now, doesn't it seem so simple? All it takes is a choice to focus on the gifts rather than the gaps, the possibilities rather than the problems. And as you make that choice again and again, it begins to ripple outward, doesn't it? Like a stone dropped into water. Your belief in someone's potential creates waves that expand far beyond what you can see. And maybe you're starting to realize that this way of seeing, this way of being, is something you can practice, isn't it? Because just as the body learns through repetition, the mind does too. And so, from this moment forward, perhaps you'll find yourself asking new questions. Instead of asking, what's wrong with this person, you might begin to ask, what's right with them? Instead of asking, what do you need to fix, you might ask, what are they ready to discover? And as you ask those questions, you might notice something else, something even deeper. You might notice every person's problems, their struggles, their challenges. They're not obstacles, they're stepping stones. They're the raw materials from which their greatest strengths will be built. And isn't it interesting how, as you think about this, your own challenges might begin to look different too. Maybe those things you've struggled with, those parts of yourself you've judged or criticized, they're not weakness after all. Maybe, just maybe, they're gifts in disguise. Because as you see the world through this new lens, you begin to realize life, it's always teaching you something. Every experience, every interaction, every person you meet is an opportunity to grow, to learn, to uncover something new. And as you continue to think about this now, you might begin to notice this shift, this new way of seeing. It's already becoming a part of you, like planting a seed in rich, fertile soil. This idea is taking root. It's growing stronger, deeper, more natural with every passing moment. And isn't it amazing to think how much more beautiful the world becomes when you choose to look for the beauty that's already there? Because from this moment forward, you'll find yourself noticing what others miss. You'll see gifts where others see flaws. You'll see potential where others see problems. You'll see wonder where others see the ordinary. And as you do this, as you embrace this new way of seeing, you'll find the world opens up to you in ways you never expected. Because the truth is, people are more wonderful, special, and extraordinary than you know. When you notice that in them, you're not just changing their lives, you're changing yours too. And perhaps you're beginning to realize that this is more than a belief. This is a way of living.